I paid off my parents' mortgage for 3 straight years, but at the family dinner my dad raised his glass and said, "Let's thank your brother for covering the house payments all this time." My brother smirked, even though he never paid a cent. My mom just nodded proudly. I'm Adrian, 28, the quiet one who fixes problems without asking for credit. When Dad lost his job at the steel plant 3 years ago, I secretly took over their $1,300 monthly mortgage. Never missed a payment. Never wanted recognition. It wasn't just the mortgage either. New tires when Mom's car failed inspection, $800. Emergency furnace repair in January, $200. The refrigerator that died last summer, another $900. Plumbing issues, electrical work, property taxes. I handled it all silently, thinking that's what family does. But lately my brother Derek had been acting like he owned the place, making decisions about renovations, telling relatives how he stepped up for the family. I'd overhear him on phone calls. "Yeah, I'm basically supporting them now. It's tough, but someone has to be responsible." The signs were everywhere. Aunt Linda praising Derek at Easter. "Not every son would sacrifice like you do." Uncle Mike nodding approvingly at the 4th of July barbecue. "Your parents raised you right, Derek. Most kids your age are selfish." Each time, Derek would just smile and shrug modestly, like carrying such a financial burden was his noble cross to bear. Meanwhile, I'd sit there wondering if I was losing my mind, or if everyone else was living in some alternate reality. At Dad's 58th birthday dinner, everything clicked into focus. The whole family was there. Aunts, uncles, cousins, about 15 people total. Dad stood up, emotional, voice shaking slightly from the beer and sentiment. "I want to acknowledge someone special tonight. 3 years ago when I lost my job, I thought we might lose everything. Our home, our stability, everything we'd worked for. But Derek stepped up without being asked. Like a real man. Derek raised his glass higher, accepting praise for my sacrifice with that trademark smirk. The whole family erupted in applause. My cousin Sarah wiped away actual tears. That's true love right there. That's what family means. I sat there completely invisible, watching my brother bask in credit for every penny I'd sacrificed, every late night I'd worked overtime to cover their bills. I didn't make a scene. I just pulled out my phone, went to my banking app, and canceled the automatic payments. Then I did something else. I requested a full refund for erroneous charges from the past 6 months through the bank's fraud protection service. The bank's fraud department called Derek directly since his name was on some of the paperwork as a co-signer. That was Tuesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, Dad called me, voice tight with confusion and anger. "The mortgage payment bounced. The bank says there's some kind of fraud investigation going on. What the hell happened?" "I canceled it," I said calmly, and reported the payments as unauthorized since Derek's been taking credit for them. "Why would you do something like that?" "Because Sunday night you thanked Derek for 3 years of payments he never made. You praised him in front of 15 family members for my money, my sacrifice. Maybe he can handle the next payment himself since he's so generous." Dead silence. Then, "Adrian, you're being overdramatic. Derek helps in other ways around the house." "Name one," I interrupted. "Name one bill Derek has actually paid, one repair he's funded, one sacrifice he's actually made, instead of just taking credit for mine." More uncomfortable silence. "The bank wants documentation of who authorized the payments," I continued. "I have 3 years of bank statements, receipts, transaction records. Everything traces back to my account. Want to guess what Derek has to show them?" "Son, we can work this out like adults. You had 3 years to work it out, Dad. 3 years to acknowledge what I was doing for this family. Instead, you built a shrine to Derek's generosity with my money while I stayed invisible." I hung up before he could respond. That afternoon, Derek called, voice high with panic. "Dude, the bank thinks I committed mortgage fraud. They want to see proof I actually paid it." "Weird," I said. "It's almost like you never actually paid it." "Come on, man. You know I don't have that kind of money. I'll lose my credit score. This could ruin me." "Sounds like a Derek problem. Please, I'll tell everyone the truth. I'll make it right." Should have thought of that during Dad's toast. The silence was deafening. Sometimes the loudest lesson is the one nobody sees coming.